Now, you went to Northwestern, right? So you did a little reading, you studied and stuff. You ever heard of a novelist, Irwin Shaw?
Heard of him.
Okay. This is something he wrote, and I want to get your opinion on it. He says, Americans are at their best in their youth, and nothing is more characteristic of that best side than the race down the football field under a kickoff.
There's nothing like covering a kickoff in the National Football League. Nothing. The first thing of any game is a special teams play. Nobody gets to do anything before we get to take our stand. I mean, the adrenaline's flowing, the place is going nuts. When our kicker approaches the ball, everything becomes silent. You can run 60 yards in front of 80,000 people and not hear a thing.
Are you scared?
No, you're not scared. You're invincible. Are you kidding me? You could take on an entire army yourself at that point. He's talking offensive line. They get hit every play. But it's from a distance of about that far, you know. Special teams are car wrecks. And this guy's coming in at full speed. They got arms hanging out. And, you know, it's like going down the road and leaving your arm out and a signpost goes by. You're losing limbs out there.
Marv Levy described you as a wild angel. You know, that 1 minute a choir boy and then on the field you're a madman. You have to have two different personalities?
I don't know if you have to, but I do. Away from the field, you know, I've got a wife, 3 kids, you know, I go to church. But when game day rolls around, it's a little different. If you can go down there and hit somebody hard, whack! That makes a statement.
When you bring down a quarterback, it's called a sack.
Yeah.
You know, if an offensive lineman runs over a defensive back, they say he pancakes him. Now, do you guys have any terms for, like, you blow up a guy?
There's always the ear hole. I mean, when the guy...
An ear hole?
Oh, yeah. All, you know, we wear your helmet, they all have these holes right here. When you're running down the field and you're looking up here and some guy hits you right in the ear hole.
Have you ever gotten ear hole?
I've gotten hit a few times, yeah. I've given more than I've gotten. I don't care who they send after me. I'll take anybody on the football field.
How big are you?
I'm 5'9", and today I weighed 184 pounds.
In a big man's game, Steve Tasker has always been a tiny terror, dating back to his days at Northwestern University. As a receiver, Tasker caught only 1 pass, but his kick-returning skills made a vivid impression on then-Houston coach Jerry Glanville, who took him in the 9th round of the 1985 draft.
3 things jumped at you. He was short, and then he was short, and then he was real short. Whatever he weighed, about 90% of that was hard anyway. And special teams, it's about your courage and your guts, and he had more of that than anybody.
Tasker's spunk made him a Glanville favorite, but the Oilers reluctantly placed him on waivers his 2nd year when he hurt his knee. They intended to reclaim him, but the Buffalo Bills got there first. Still, Glanville had a plan.
I said, here's the deal. I want you to go and flunk the physical. And I said, well, I'll come over and we'll rehearse wherever they poke you how much you scream.
And he said, you tell them that they touch you, it hurts. You can't use it to flunk that physical so you can come back, you know. Don't tell them you won't play unless you start. Tell them wherever they touch you, tell them, oh, yeah, that hurts bad. He laughs now. He says, hey, I made you a folk hero.
Steve Tasker has affected as many ball games and the outcomes of ball games for the Buffalo Bills as Kelly has or Thomas has, because I think he's made plays dowling the ball on the 1-yard line, causing a fumble, recovering a fumble, that have turned the tide for the Bills.
He also blocks punts and anything else he can find to hit. His looks may be clean-cut, but on the field, he does the dirty work. He also runs the ball, returns it. He's even held on kicks. He is at the same time a specialist and a jack of all trades. In 1995, he flourished as a full-time receiver. How can one so small loom so large? For those who know him, it's no accident that Steve Tasker seems to have the football world on a string.
You know, the guy can do a backflip and land on his feet. He can dunk a basketball. He can hit a golf ball further than anybody on the team. He's a great athlete.
In the early 90s, Buffalo owned the AFC playoffs, thanks in part to the man who may be the NFL's greatest special teams player ever.
It's the most spectacular special teams play I have ever seen.
If special teams are 1/3 of the game, and they are, Steve Tasker belongs in the Hall of Fame.
They have receivers, that's a specialty. They have running backs, that's a specialty. Well, being a special team standout is a specialty, and they should have a new wing, and Steve Tasker's bust should be right there as the first one.
You know, we're talking about ear holes, car wrecks, collision. Why do you play the game?
I like to win. And special teams is a chance every time I get on the field to have a personal one-on-one battle that I can win. 6 Pro Bowls later and 4 Super Bowls, it's been a nice ride.
On ESPN.
I think when you're a #1 draft choice, the fans, they want some justification. Why did you draft this little bitty guy from Texas A&I, and all of a sudden, the Dallas Cowboy game, he catch Tony Dorsett? People just forgot about everything else and say, we love this guy. There was nobody I didn't think I could catch. I mean, I felt like I was the fastest guy on the earth, really. And I say that in humility. That wasn't an issue for me. Running to me is like walking.
And it's a good start. They can't even come out of the box. But all of a sudden, Gerald Green starts to pull on Willie Gault. He won't catch it. Gerald Green is the fastest man in the NFL.
Had he done the track, I really think he'd have been the premier sprinter in the world, because nobody could start like Gerald Green.
Apparently, no one can finish like him either.
Gerald Green, he's gone.
He never ran in the Olympics, but he did carry the torch on its way to Atlanta in 1996. A fitting honor, because the sprinter has had a marathon career, and he's faster now than he was as a rookie.
He's chased down by Gerald Green at the 35-yard line. Green saves the touchdown. Snap to Brown, the 39. Quick slant into the hands of Gerald Green. He's gone! Touchdown, Washington Redskins. The little guy just blistered that sideline. He hurt the grass. You knew when he caught it, it was like a jet